Yeah, you said congrats,
Nice.
10 boys.
Nice. There's 10 boys.
You got too horny, and that's why.
I don't want him to come. Jake, how horny does this make you?
Very horny.
TV is one big joke. Believe me, Minnesota sports in all sorts. You see, they know it's never gonna get easy. You see, they know it's Minnesota, constant pain and misery.
And I'm a part of Al Qaeda.
It's 10K TV. It's one big joke, believe me. Minnesota sports. In all sorts.
Dude, he could turn Daniel Jones into Brett Favre.
Minus the penis pics.
Yeah. You can legally smoke crack.
What is a DVOA?
I win
think-
dicks, vaginas, or ass.
I think that's what it is.
Don't know much except to yell.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 10K TV, presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Boss Man. I am joined by Sarge, and before we get into it today, folks, we just got to tell you, Marlo here, who's been working hard behind the camera, has also worked on putting on some pretty awesome merch designs on our website. So if you go to 10ktakesmn.com, we got Wolves merch, we got Wild merch, we unfortunately have Vikings merch. I think there's a Sammy Rockets shirt on there, which, you know what? You can buy that now. He did good in the
Rockets is gone.
Okay, he did good in the Pro Bowl. I was going to say maybe make a second revitalization of that shirt. But also, if you saw the video, if you leave us a message or a tip, we will send you a personal video back of us responding to whatever you write to us with every purchase. That's just how much we appreciate it. But let's get into the show, folks. We have a ton of topics to cover. Let's start off with the first one here. Our king, Luka Garza, got fucking snubbed in the All-Star vote. So here's some stats for you. Luka Garza received 0 player votes in the All-Star game.
Trash.
0 media votes in the All-Star
Trash.
game. But 2,285 fan votes in the All-Star game.
I was one of them.
You were?
I was one of them.
Yeah.
Were you?
I didn't know how to vote.
It was like a you had to go on the NBA.com and
Okay.
yeah, you had to do it.
too-
You had to work for it a little bit, but I was willing to work for Luka.
Yeah, the better Luka, the only Luka in the league that was relevant in the news, because Devin Booker, at least when he heard that a Luka got traded, he said, "quote unquote," Luka Garza ?
Which I think people do respect him. That
Yeah.
makes me think that people are like, oh shit, like he got traded, and and he is the all-time best scorer per minute in T-Wolves history.
Yeah, true. He's a secret weapon who only gets deployed in certain situations. Also, but Devin Booker saying that does not know that our GM is not as dumb as the Mavericks GM. Come on, we would never trade a Luka away.
No,
For
absolutely
Anthony
not.
Davis.
That shit's crazy.
Insane. Did you guys see that they the Mavs fans basically held a funeral for him outside of their arena?
No, they didn't.
Some guys showed up with coffins. Or with a coffin, and they were crying.
Oh my! I would
Like-
cry too.
You would have thought the guy died in a car accident.
It's honestly like trading Justin Jefferson for I don't know who, but like,
Or if we traded just name any superstar, and you trade him for an aging guy who's, not as young or prosperous. They traded him at 200. They said they traded him at 25 years old because they said he was fat. It's like, okay, yeah, he's fat, but he's pretty good at basketball. Who cares?
yeah, dude.
Guess who else was fat? Every good baseball player. Let's get over it,
Dude,
dude.
you think Babe
CC Sabathia?
Oh.
That guy had an absolute barrel on him. And that guy won shit. I'm not enough of a baseball nut to seam head to know if
Seam head. I love that. I've never heard that
fucking
before.
Did he ever win a World Series? Probably.
Yeah, with the Yankees.
Right.
I made that up. I don't know. I'm sticking
It's like
with
how
it.
you made up
Did
Joe Mauer's
Chad, did
brother's
CC
name.
He won a World
Chad.
Series, right?
CC Sabathia. Any baseball guys in there?
Can we get chat, get active?
Yeah.
Someone did confirm there's piles and piles of Luka jerseys outside of the arena right now.
Oh, Luka Garza jerseys outside the Target Center?
I assume so.
That's like in Rudy when they're like, "Coach, we need Rudy to play," and then they just start handing their
Yeah.
jerseys in.
Yeah. By the way, are you going to tell us when our time is up?
30 seconds. I started it late.
Oh,
That's on me.
I like
have
it.
Too much.
You're good. No, we had to intro the show.
So since Devin Booker brought up Luka. Does he deserve more playing time? Because I think so. Because I feel like people.
I don't know. I told you he's a secret weapon. Clearly, other teams are afraid of him because Devin Booker
Right.
is well aware of his presence on the court.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't even need to be on the court, and he's intimidating. They just see him there, and they're like, they're not fazed by any A-list celebrity sitting courtside. They see Luka Garza there, and they're shook into their core.
All right.
All right, let's move on. Ryan Hartman, not having a good week either. So he has been suspended for his 5th time as an NHLer.
Fifth time?
Yeah, 5 times.
Not to move backwards, CC Sabathia won a ship in 09.
Okay, there you go. Yes. Same year the Vikings. We're not gonna get into that. I don't know why. You bring up 2009, and that's where my mind went. So yeah, Hartsy's been suspended 5th time, unfortunately, for a quote unquote dirty hit on the face-off dot. Yeah, not the best look, but also McDavid doesn't get suspended. Different argument. We only got 3 minutes, but what I will say is it was pretty funny. I don't know if you guys saw. So on Instagram, you can vote on polls. You can put polls into different posts, and there was an NHL fan discussion page that said, should Ryan Hartman get suspended or not? And it showed that he voted on the poll.
Do you think he voted yes?
I would assume he voted no.
Okay.
unless there's a positive spin to this. So he has the opportunity to have an in-person hearing. It sounds like he's going to go to it because he can elect to either have it over the phone or he can have it in person. This is all via Michael Russo at The Athletic. But pretty much this means he's going to get suspended 6+ games is from what I've heard.
6+.
That's usually what happens when players have this in-person hearing.
Damn.
So my question for you, Mr. Sargent, is how do you think he's going to spend his suspension? Because if you forget, too, we have the 4 Nations break coming up. That's like another 2 weeks on top of that. He's going to have a lot of time off. So what do you think he's going to be doing?
First thing that comes to mind is joining the Vikings in Cancun,
Okay. Yeah.
mixing with the other pro athletes. Another one I brought up is he could start his modeling career. That guy's a stud.
Okay.
That guy's a freaking stud.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has all of his teeth left, but he should start looking into that.
Just do a Jake Middleton bit and have one of those retainers.
Or like veneers or something, right?
Yeah.
Those veneers. But
Wooden teeth.
yeah.
George Washington style.
I'm sure Unreal could probably,
Yeah.
hook him up in that way. Next thing is change a few diapers. Step up and be.
I have that one written down
Okay.
too. Spend time with his newborn kid. We can start the conversation. Does this dirty hit and the suspension actually make Ryan Hartman a good dad? Because now he has more time. I can tell you this: all those other players aren't going to be spending as much time with their kids.
That's a fact.
Ryan Hartman, good dad.
Do you think he'll babysit any other Wild players' kids?
Ooh, that's how you get your teammates to respect you again. Just be like, hey.
Hardy's daycare.
Yeah, dude. All the snacks. I also put he can spend time on resetting his expectations that the Bears are going to be bad again this year. Because like I mentioned last week, we're friends with Hartsey, and he was really depressed after the Bears-Vikings game. So, he's going to have a rough time as a Bears fan. So he can prepare himself for what's to come. Let's move on to another topic here. Women's rugby is coming to Minnesota.
Sick.
So the Twin Cities Amazons is that the right name, Marlo?
Oh,
What?
TC Gemini.
TC Gemini.
You know what? Sarge said the same thing, and I'm starting to think that you guys hate women.
What?
He was sitting.
Oh, blame Google.
No. He was sitting in front of a computer, and he's like, "What's the name of the women's team?" I'm like, "The TC Gemini." Like, look it up. And he's like, "All I can find is the Amazon."
Dude, that's all I could find. I swear, I felt so.
That's all I
stupid.
found too.
Yeah, no,
Fuck.
TC Gemini.
I was gonna do this whole bit on Jeff Bezos.
Damn it. Now we're in a pickle.
Okay.
Sarge
Okay, the
got
Gemini. I'm actually a Gemini. That's my sign. I was born in June.
What was your horoscope today, dude?
I think
Women like horoscopes.
Yeah, I'm a Gemini.
Dude, look at this logo. Okay.
I also share a birthday with Vince
it's
Lombardi.
so sick.
Oh, that is sweet.
So it's 2 snakes.
Which, if you need me to speak on this, like, I think it's so strange that we actually have a like kind of a badass sports logo in the state of Minnesota, because I am not used to that whatsoever.
No.
Rugby is also an entertainingly violent sport.
Uh,
It's so violent, and they don't wear any protection.
it's
Zero.
It's one.
Just like Sarge.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's one of the most badass sports ever. When I was in Australia studying abroad, I went to a rugby game, and I'll tell you what, I had no fucking idea what was going on. But
Yeah.
the hits were big, and in the Olympics too. I watched the women, and it was fucking badass.
Yeah,
they crush each other.
By the way, if you ever want to get into rugby, you should probably start here because it's sick to just support a local team or whatever. But rugby sevens are so much fun to watch. I tried out for a rugby team up in Bemidji when I was there.
No shit.
Yeah, I realized that how big of a pussy I truly was.
Where are they gonna play?
That I didn't see, unfortunately. I saw the logos and I was like, "That's
It's got to
dope.
be a
Let's talk
spring to like fall kind of sport.
Chat sound off. Where did TC Gemini play?
I could probably look it up.
That's probably they'll probably play maybe like TCO because that's where the
what about
or not
Allianz
TCO
Stadium?
because that's where the Aurora play is at Viking Lakes, I believe.
So
where we got lost in a maze. That's where the women's soccer team plays.
So there's 6 teams in the. So it's the Women's Elite Rugby League, and they got some badass names. So they have the Bay Breakers, the Boston Banshees, the Chicago Tempest. I don't get that one.
the fuck is that?
I don't know. No idea. And then they got the
Sounds
Denver
like a-
Onyx, the New York Exiles, and then the best one, the TC Gem.
The New York Exiles is like very ironic considering immigrants had to go through New York back in the day to get into the country.
They have like nuns as their kind of like
The
badass
Chicago
nuns.
Tempest, that one I'm
What is
a
a
little
Tempest?
sussy about.
All right, I'm looking it up right now. They got some. They do have
Sounds like a
straight-
job that existed back in the BC days.
What it looks like a tornado. Oh, that's interesting.
We'll have to check in on this.
We should play them. We
Okay,
should play them.
let's go back to the Wild here. This actually leads into the name of the episode. John Merrill, a guy that I can say I've disrespected. I can say a lot of others. Another guy in this room has disrespected. Actually, probably 2 guys in this room have probably disrespected. A lot of Minnesota Wild fans have disrespected. He's having a really good year. Better yet, he played so well against Toronto that he was given the hard chain. If you know what the hard chain is, it's this big plaque sign that says hard. They give it to the player of the game. And John Merrill had it in Toronto. And then if you guys forgot, the game after that, the next night was the game in Montreal where Fleury, or Thursday night, won his final game in Montreal. Not only won it in commanding fashion in a shootout, and John Merrill knew he was probably going to be giving the hard sign to Fleury and that there were going to be hundreds of cameras around because this, was a really big deal. So he did not miss an opportunity to throw in the biggest pile of chew into his lower deck.
Was that a full 10?
I think it was, it was half a horseshoe.
Dude, I'm throwing in a pussy pouch just for him here.
Yeah, what he had in was like
Man, shit.
this entire thing.
Yes.
Maybe 2 of them.
Dude, maybe I'll do a full
If
horseshoe.
you guys go to our Instagram, 10K Takes, or our Twitter.
We're doing a full
Holy
horseshoe.
shit, you're going to throw them all in?
Oh, yeah. I'm addicted, so this is awesome.
He feels nothing. Those companies have you right where they want you.
Yeah.
But John Merrill, he's having a great year. He's really stepped up. There's been a lot of injuries. There was at one point he was on the first pairing, which I think a lot of us saw that and said, holy shit, how did we get to this point?
Oh, fuck.
All credit to John Merrill. He's played great. He got the hard sign. And when he got to hand it to Marc-Andre Fleury in a historic game, he threw in the fattest dip, and I respected him even more for it.
Dude, and he guts it, too. I know for a fact he guts it.
He hasn't swallowed that on accident since he paused. Since he was probably a kid and he tried chew for the first time and wherever. Is he from Canada? Yeah, he's from Canada, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
That or Alabama.
Yeah, or actually no, I think he's from Oklahoma City.
No, he's not.
He's from Oklahoma City. Google this. I had
Check us.
Dude,
yeah, he's from OKC.
He's from okay.
Okay, so he definitely started chewing when he was in elementary school. That was the last time he didn't gut it.
dude, and he probably learned how to drive the same amount, like right around the same age.
He probably drives with both feet.
Yeah, dude, he probably can. Dude, now I'm just thinking in my head, like after seeing that shoe, dude, he's a 10 a day guy, easy.
And he blocks pucks like it's no one's business.
Dude.
Like that guy eats pucks.
Dude, okay, you know how some hockey players would cut like like their webbing in their toes and put in shoes?
Oh, he's definitely one of those guys.
I think so too. I think
Other
for
guys
sure
are
he
taping
does.
their sticks, and he's dumping Cope Straight in his socks. All right, before we keep going, folks, I got to tell you about Captain's Patch. Our beer, Captain's Patch. It's a raspberry lemon shandy brewed by our friends at Elm Creek Brewing. 4.5 APV. And, folks, if you're a Wild fan out there, you want to watch John Merrill go out there, eat pucks, throw and chew, and enjoy a good beverage while you do it. Captain's Patch is sold in sections 105, 115, C13, and also at Burger Moe's if you want to go before the game or after the game, whatever. So captainspatch.com. You'll be able to find it in a lot more places once it starts getting warmer here and shandy season opens up. But our beverage of choice with our logo on it, 10K Takes, Captain's Patch. We're drinking it right now. All right, let's move on to really quick, Chris Finch got ejected for his first time of his career, but I always think of those parody accounts that purposely spell it ejaculated. Yeah. That's what we should have done that on the big board.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Finch ejaculated for the first time in his career, but yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that next time someone gets ejaculated.
It was just a typo, bro.
Shit, we actually spelled the word right. That was not the goal. But yeah, there was a Suns player inbounding the ball. Chris Finch was kind of having a little back and forth with the ref. It was super casual. It looked like the ref throws him out. I already told you guys what he said. He said bozo under his breath really quietly, but which sucks. It's stupid.
Was there actual audio? Because that seems so soft.
Yeah, I couldn't even lip read it.
Yeah, I'm not a lip.
No.
Maybe we should go deaf and then we can become.
Well, so okay. Better yet, he said bozo, but what would have been funnier that he could have said?
So I noticed that the ref was bald.
Oh my god, I picked up on this too.
So I was gonna say,
are these all bald jokes? Because mine are.
I just am literally going with, "Hey, you're bald."
Okay.
And that probably just stung him deep. What did you have? I know you went.
Yep.
Called cue ball.
I did. Bald-headed bitch. Cue ball-headed ass-looking motherfucker. You're going to make me pull out my hair, which I actually have.
Yeah. I had your mom goes to college.
Good one.
That's a big burn. And then I'm taking this one from semi-pro is I'll burn your house down and murder your family.
Oh, yeah. That would probably that'd be a good way to get ejaculated from an NBA game. 100%.
Yeah.
It's funny that Finchie hasn't. That's like always one of those funny things when you hear someone's been ejected. I guess it's because I grew up watching Ron Gardenhire manage a baseball team where it was like every other day that dude was getting thrown out.
Legendary.
I remember I went to Ron Gardenhire's like honorary game that they honored him at, and they flashed a stat that he had gotten thrown out of like 120 some games in his career. And I was like, I'm so glad someone pulled the stat on that.
And then they beat the Suns, so maybe he needs to get ejaculated more.
True. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Well, he should have gotten ejaculated versus the Wizards because they lost to them and they
That's
stink.
true. That's true. That's gotta be one of those things where if the team is playing bad, you gotta get fired up and get kicked. That is actually what baseball managers do. If their team is playing like shit, sometimes they'll just get thrown out. And it's like, let's see if this does something.
Yeah. It usually does.
Meanwhile, CC Sabathia's in the dugout hammering another burrito.
Dude, he threw in big chews too.
Yeah.
Real big chews.
Remember Doug Minkiewicz back in the day?
That
guy threw in hammers.
Dude, that and also in Slugfest, they called him Minkiewicz. I'll never forget that.
Jorge Polanco. That guy threw in bigger chews than maybe John Merrill.
Dude, yeah, that's right. Holy shit.
All right, let's move on here. Should we kill the Pro Bowl? Because the Pro Bowl just seems to somehow get worse and worse every year. It was really fun back in the day when they actually hit each other. Now I get why they can't do that because you don't want a guy getting injured for next year because of, the Pro Bowl. But I just remember when we were growing up, I felt like the Pro Bowl kind of meant something.
Agreed. And now it doesn't.
Like it was entertaining. The coaches, when it was in Hawaii, they would always wear Hawaiian shirts like Andy Reid. He's probably having a few Coronas before the game.
And a cheeseburger.
Yeah. But I don't know. It just seems to get worse every year. So I saw there was a clip where they had Jettas do this catching challenge where they put like big cartoon gloves on them. For somehow I didn't think we'd bring up this topic again, but Uncle Jack and It's Always Sunny with the big hands, just like the shark. Here, let me get the picture.
Yeah, dude. It was so bad, and I just don't understand how no one watched it, right?
They put these hands on him. Gus is getting slapped by a shark with huge hands. They They gave those hands to Jettas and were like, hey, catch these footballs.
Why?
I don't know.
What was the point of that? It makes no fucking sense.
You guys didn't even talk about the worst part, which was that dog shit quarterback who couldn't throw a ball to him on the diving one.
Yeah.
The second throw, you could see the people in the audience turn around like, what the fuck was that? They were disgusted with that shit.
Yeah, he was supposed to make a diving catch, and he's like, all right, let me throw it 35 yards in front of you.
It's like, oh, I thought you were
Catch that, dude. You're Jettas, right?
thought you were Jettas, bro.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, if you watch that, you need to find a hobby. You need to do something else with your life. I didn't watch a second of it. I was force-fed it on Twitter when I was on my For You, or is it For You page?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I saw.
Wait, is that the page with porn on it, or that's a different page?
Oh, no, that's the one with
That's sorry, that's just Twitter in general. Sam Darnold probably earned that $20 million back he lost in the
yeah,
last 2 weeks of the season.
that
'cause
was the Sammy Dimes we knew.
he balled out in that.
I
He went
know.
his first 6 throws he hit. Peyton Manning was like, or Eli Manning, they were both giving him credit. They're like,
Slopping
he just
on the
throws
knobs,
such a good ball, and I'm like, I haven't seen him throw a good ball since Seattle, Green Bay.
Oh my god.
I forgot what that looked like.
So I mean, I think he for sure, realistically, he did make another $5 million a year back. Like
At least 5.
100%.
Oh, Mark Davis probably saw that and was like, this is a quarterback that I'm going to pay a lot of money. And then I'm going to blame it on Pete Carroll
Yeah.
when I fire him after next season when we go 3-16 or
Yeah, I'm gonna take him to
15.
P.F. Chang's first.
So I know everyone, we always come up with like alternatives to what the Pro Bowl should be. And, people always make the joke it should be the worst 2 teams fighting for the number 1 pick. I actually came up with a really good alternative for the Pro Bowl.
Into this.
I think the Pro Bowl should just be a public bender between all the players in the league.
Yes,
It's just a weekend of nonstop partying, all filmed.
dude. I literally
Like Love Island, except for these guys decompressing.
I literally said make drinking games,
like that's even better. Beer Olympics.
beer Olympics.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Flower, my favorite athlete, my favorite goalie, wild player. You couldn't have, this whole year, you couldn't write a script better. It's just, he turns 40 years old. He gets, a last win in Pittsburgh, hugs his former teammates from the Penguins, plays well, has another big game last Thursday in Montreal, gets a 5-minute standing ovation. I was watching that live on TV where
Cry.
I was close to it.
You were.
The announcers, the announcers did a great job. I at least watched the TSN broadcast because I watched it illegally. And they just didn't talk for like 5 minutes, and it was just literally people doing the Flower chant and cheering, and he, he's like such a competitor. He doesn't stop and wave. Like he's like still dialed in, waiting for. It was really cool.
Yeah, dude, it was a classic Flower game, dude. He was flopping all over the place, bringing that old school, stacking the pads. It was sick. It was so cool to watch and he was making unbelievable saves too, which made it that much better.
I believe 22 saves for a shutout at 40 years old. LeBron's never done that. Fucking Tom Brady's never done that.
Those are facts right there.
What do you want? Come on. Talking about the best 40-year-old athletes. Show me a 22
Yeah, dude.
John Merrill in front of you throwing in hammers.
Dude, oh my god. I do. So okay, I don't know a whole lot about him. I'm assuming he's from Montreal. Is that
Yeah.
why? Okay. Because our Discord chat.
He still lives there in the summer too.
Okay, because the Discord chat was going off, and someone asked like, why was this happening? And glad it wasn't me that asked because everyone was chirping. I think it was Danks. Sorry, Danksy. He had to be the sacrificial lamb, but I was like, why? 5 minutes is a lot. That's like Kim Jong-un shit right there.
Yeah. You mean a 5-minute ovation?
Well, it's more like 40 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I was referring to. The ovation of standing.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Or they just don't let him sit down. Anybody sit down or eat. Whoops.
He's playing so well that
Yeah.
I just have.
He's actually the better goaltender right now.
I know,
which
that's
is
why-
even crazier. Like, this isn't just a show of him putting, like, these are crucial wins he's stealing on the road. And what's even better about that whole thing was the Montreal players got in a handshake line to shake Flower's hand after they just lost 4-rip.
Yeah.
Like, respect to the Canadian fans, the Montreal Canadian fans. Even more respect to the players and the coaches. They stayed back after getting their asses absolutely handed to them. So, yeah, it was super cool.
Dude, and I'm just trying to think of like There's only one thing they need to do. The Wild, they got to win the cup.
Yeah.
That's the only way. It's
Yeah.
the only way that this season could end.
We are
perfectly
aware.
for 'em. But
Yeah.
that's not going to happen.
The injuries and the suspension. But, all right, let's move on to a Loons topic. Loons. The Loons signed a new player. They signed Hoyan Young. Marlo? Hoyan Young?
Yeah, sure.
Midfielder?
Nailed it. I think
So that's the update.
that's your Loons.
Loons update.
You're welcome.
How much time we have left? 2
We
minutes.
have 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to talk about the Loons.
Sarge, how was your weekend?
Oh boy, it was. So I ref hockey, and it's been really smooth sailing all year. But this weekend I had my first true Minnesota hockey parents experience.
Oh, no.
And it was awful. It was awful. I'm not gonna say the teams or anything, but let's just say I had a mom
Oh, no.
bang on the glass, point at me, and say "fuck you."
Oh, that's like a baptism as a ref. Though.
Yeah.
To which you said, "Bitch, do you know I talk about porn on 10K TV? Do you know who I am?"
No, dude. And so like,
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I'm very easygoing, and of course, my first reaction is to laugh because it caught me so off guard.
Oh, did you actually laugh?
I laughed right.
I
in
guess
her
I
face.
would have too. That would have been.
It was just like so. I'm assuming it was her son tripped into the boards.
Yeah.
But there's a player right by him.
So she thought she doesn't know puck.
I promise you, miss, I will call the penalty if it's a penalty, but your son fell. And he got hurt. He actually wasn't hurt, but he laid there forever.
Kid's fucking dust.
And then the coaches are just reaming me out. Luckily, I had another veteran ref there to help
You should have
me.
thrown them out. You should have ejaculated them.
I should have, but this is squirts, by the way. This is squirts. They're like, and then they both the coaches were like, call an even game. We looked up the stats after, and there was even penalties.
Wow.
So I'm not really sure what that was, but 3 games in a row I dealt with this. It was awful.
Wow.
It made me regret a little bit, but it's gonna get better because holy shit though, like
Well,
it was awful.
while we're still talking Loons and are on this topic, I don't know if you guys heard this. There was allegedly between a Benilde head coach, Benilde?
Yeah, Benil.
Benilde, yeah, I don't know why I thought there was Benilde and St. Louis Park, I believe. So the head coach of Benilde and the assistant coach of St. Louis Park, or vice versa, fist fight
No shit.
on the ice.
Oh, that's badass.
Unfortunately, not in an arena with live barn. So there's no evidence of said fight, but I was hearing about it in the locker room. Once
my
again,
God.
I apologize because I know there was a head coach of one of the teams who everyone's like, no, he's a great guy. That guy would never fight someone. It was his assistant that fought. So can someone in the chat confirm if it was Benilde's head coach or assistant coach?
You know what? I could figure this out. My best friend Giuseppe Palermo, he is the head coach of the lacrosse team,
Okay.
and so I'm going to text him
Yeah.
after the show and find out.
Well, we just slandered someone on accident, so that probably won't help after the show.
Yeah, but
I
still
said,
wanna know.
one was an assistant coach, one was a head coach. Fist fight on the ice after the game.
And let me just say, ice is slippery, so
Oh, yeah.
I bet it was just legs,
you-
limbs flying everywhere, and
You
just,
don't understand how much that ruined my week that's not on video.
By the way, super convenient timing. Zach Alverson just joined the Instagram show, and so hopefully he knows if it was
Yes.
the Benilde head coach. If anybody would, it'd probably be Alvy.
There's a story, Helvey, where Benilde's either head coach or assistant coach fought St. Louis Park's either head coach or assistant coach.
Was that SLP, so Spring Lake Park potentially?
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, maybe not St. Louis Park. I don't know. Anyways, there were 2 coaches who fought, and that's funny.
Oh yeah,
It,
timers.
it's
It's really funny. Sorry, we'll move on. Folks, I got to tell you about a partner of ours called Northern Lids. Marlo's going to run the ad. Northern Lids is the top spot for all custom hats for teams, businesses, personal projects. I don't know if you saw those sick-ass Minnesota Stars hats that we released last week, kind of the old North Star branding. We sold 50 of those in less than 2 hours. You guys bought them right up.
Thank you.
I've gotten compliments on them from people who've never even seen us sell them. Those hats were made by Northern Lids. Those super cool rubber patches, good quality hats, rope type hatting, any style type hat you want. I've seen them do it for high school teams, for pro teams, the whole 9 yards, companies. You can go to Northern Lids. Is it northernlids.com? Start talking to Nick. He's a great guy, very flexible. And, Sarge is showing one of those hats.
It's pretty gnarly.
You will not find any longer, a 10K hat that is not made by Northern Lids. So shout out to Nick and Northern Lids for helping us out. And, these hats, I know I had multiple people ask if we were bringing them back. We will be bringing them back because we did not think we'd sell out of them that fast.
I just told the chat, let us know if we should bring them back.
Let us know, chat. Let us know if we should bring them back. All right, moving right along. The NHL cap is going up. Finally going up at the perfect time. Well, probably for your Blackhawks as well, but for the Wild because
they got space right now.
Yeah, the cap. So according to Michael Russo in The Athletic, will be going up to $95.5 million next season, which is a $7 million jump. It'll be going up to $104 million in 2026 and 27, and $113.5 million in 2027 to 2028.
When do those contracts end? Is it next year?
See, it's weird because the majority of them end this year, the hits, but then we're still paying them next year. Like,
What?
Yeah, I don't get it.
What? I don't know. I do not understand the cap at all.
No, it's a fugazi.
I love
Fugazi.
that. You've been watching a ton of Sopranos.
No, this is a quote from Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
Fugazi. Remember when he talks about jerking off like 7 times a day, Matthew McConaughey? You could probably relate to that.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
So what do you think? Well, I know you're a Hawks guy, but what do you think the Wild should do with? What do you think they do with an extra, say, 20, 30 some million cap by 2026, 27, 28?
So I think they should be able to pay our boy, the E-Bug Connor Dupre, a little bit more. Give him some extra cash.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yep.
They got it floating around. This also has nothing to do with the cap, but get Captain's Patch available in the upper levels.
I actually had that written down too. Sell Captain's Patch in the 3rd level.
They can make it happen now. They got cap space.
That's where the blue collar people sit. That's where people like us sit.
Yeah,
We sit up there.
exactly.
That's where we need to get. I mean, I love having the beer in club level. Don't get me wrong. The self pour station rocks. Having it in the lower level is great. The upper level would be sweet. I also wrote down that they should upgrade the first level bathrooms. You know how you can do that in GM mode. On like the NHL games. I don't know, like the bathrooms are fine. I just always remember you could hit the button to do it. It's like, oh, now they're under construction for 3 weeks. But I think they got to re-sign Kirill. That's pretty obvious.
The Brinks truck can officially back up now.
Yeah. They need to re-sign my boy Marco Rossi.
Yep.
I actually had a guy in beer league on Thursday skate behind me after a play ended, and he goes, "Yeah, 23 is not a bust."
Yeah, I love that's awesome, dude.
Movement going.
After they just scored 4 straight goals on me. It's like, hell yeah, brother. Thanks for putting a smile on my face.
I also got it's the perfect time to sign a old veteran guy from Minnesota, so Anders Lee or
Brock Nelson.
Yep, those are the 2 that come to mind. Maybe TJ Oshie, why not? That's a classic Minnesota move.
Yeah?
They can bring them in.
You guys are shit. Billy Guerin said he doesn't do that shit.
He does not.
It is a new era.
He specifically hates doing that because he hates players being around their friends and family because they're just going to ask for free tickets. He doesn't want to put them in a pressure
none
situation.
Of Kirill's Russian friends can come. Is that what you're saying? Like, you can't
No,
stay over
but
here?
I did meet his at a tailgate. I met Kirill's. I think it was his dad and like his uncle or either his trainer. You can tell those guys are Russian from like 100 yards.
I want nothing but Russians.
Yeah,
I agree. We should have an all-Russian team.
I want St. Paul to just.
Politics aside.
I need it. I need it so badly.
Yeah. We got Urov coming over next year, right? That's gonna be fun.
Should be.
Yeah. Crushing it in the KHL. I also put get us some more money for marketing.
Yeah.
Because we do support the team. But sorry, I see you already transitioned it. That's a host issue there. All right, let's close out this episode of 10K TV with our final topic, which is the Grammy outfits.
Yeah, let's get dressed for it.
So, yep, the Grammys happened, and Kanye's wife showed up nude. So,
What was that? That was the most insane shit I've ever seen in my life. And the funniest video We're like, let's see what you're wearing. She had this huge fur coat on,
Yeah.
kind of like my chest over my back here, and then it keeps going down. You're like, is she wearing anything?
Nope, you can see her vagina.
And she shaves. Actually, she probably waxes. She waxes. But someone in the background goes, "Oh, what a reveal!"
Yeah.
Dude, she was just
And
naked.
and here's the best thing. Well, we're shirtless right now. We could get let into the Grammys.
yeah,
How fucking much does that rock? And Kanye showed up with his naked wife. They got kicked out of the Grammys, and it wasn't even for her being naked. It was because they didn't get invited.
which is crazy. Like,
They just yeah. How do you just sneak into the Gram? Like, I guess he's Kanye. A security guard's not going to tell him to go away. But how does he get on the red carpet, get in without being allowed in with a naked wife?
I don't know. Oh, that was so funny. Oh God, I couldn't believe it. And Twitter is just, there's you see all the porn, but like this was getting tweeted out by everyone.
Oh yeah.
It was,
It's like, holy shit, Kanye just showed up. He's still got CTE, and his wife is naked.
yeah.
And they got kicked out for not showing up. How about Jaden Smith showing up with a house on his fucking head?
He literally hollowed out a dollhouse, painted it black, and then put it on his head. What the?
How would you
fuck?
How would you like to be the guy sitting behind him?
It's like, Jade, couldn't you not black out the windows for me?
Yeah, at
Like-
least can I get a peek? God, dude, at what point does the Hollywood elite become too much to the point where like, so Bianca, is that her name? Kanye's girl?
I
She
think
showed up
so.
without clothes. Like, how do you top that? How do you get weirder than that? Do you maybe like light yourself on fire and
You
walk
put
in?
a fucking house on your head, dude. And what's crazy? I wish we would have got this during this recording, but you didn't know that was Will Smith's son.
I did not know.
Oh my
honestly, I hear the
God,
name
dude.
Jaden Smith, and I assume he's like a wide receiver from Georgia who got caught like drag racing his car and is now a wide receiver for like the Patriots. That's who I think when I saw Jaden Smith.
So I gotta ask you. I'm not looking this up, but what the hell is a Grammy?
It's music awards. What?
It's music.
I to be honest with you, I didn't know what a Grammy
Are you
was
fucking
either.
kidding me?
Then what's an Oscar? There's that.
Movies. Okay, I don't watch
what's
I
an
don't
Emmy?
watch these shows regularly.
Yeah,
That's
what's an
TV.
Emmy?
TV.
Grammy is a dumb fucking name. let's be
Yeah,
honest.
dude.
Yeah, they should have named it like the Lil Pump Award. You guys remember Lil Pump? Like maybe the worst
Gucci gang,
artist.
Gucci gang,
Yeah.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Yeah.
The worst artist of all time.
Dude, I just recently saw a video of him taking a fuck ton of shrooms on an airplane, and then he was just tripping
Yeah.
balls
He's still alive.
somehow.
Good for him. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for tuning in to another live episode of 10K TV. We're going to go to the Grammys because we're properly dressed for it. And make sure to follow us all socials, 10K Take, subscribe on YouTube, and drink Captain's Patch. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Love you.
Oh.